friends. Happy Friday. I hope you are having a great day and gearing up for a wonderful weekend. So welcome everyone also to the final day of our 5-day For Your Authenticity challenge. So today we're just going to wrap it all up. We did some wonderfully awesome practices throughout the week. You now have a way to experience your authentic nature through a guided relaxation. What else did we do? We did a lot. You have a list of values. You're able to see where your energy imbalances are compared to masculine and feminine energy when you're in the wounded, when you're in the divine state. We did an awesome empowerment practice yesterday to build your confidence, embodying confidence. And today I want to share 3 more tips for integrating authentically into the world. So aligning with your authentic self. And these 3 tips I think are really key. I've mentioned them here, but let's go into a bit more depth. But before we get into this, I would love to hear what your favorite practice was that we did this week, or if there's one that you feel like you really need to do again, that it will become part of your perhaps daily practice. Hello, Rachel. Good morning. So I would love to hear that. And as I also asked you in the previous post, I would love to hear if you have a plan of moving forward. But if not yet, no worries, because that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to move forward and how I can help you further with that. So there are some tips, and the first one is be ready for change. Okay? This is a hard one. I think this is a reason why people resist aligning with their authentic nature, making uncomfortable changes that get us to that place, because life is going to change. When you are living authentically, things that seemed important no longer are. So that may be projects or ideas. This could be relationships, and that's the harder part. And it's not to say that you have to go out there and make these changes. When you live authentically, you're going to be attracting people who may be different, and you may be repelling others. So relationships will come and go as they always had, depending on your resonance. So we're always attracting people who are at the same vibrational frequency as us. And when we're aligning with our authentic nature, it is an enlightening experience. We are lifting our vibration. We are living this higher purpose. So you are going to see that reflection in your relationships. And one of my spiritual coaches said the other day, I don't want to quote her incorrectly, so let me just read it. She said, if your relationships aren't changing, you're probably not growing. And aligning with your authentic nature is all about self-growth. So we need to be ready for that change. And like I've said before, get out of the mentality of thinking that this is good or bad. It just is. It is. And some relationships have served a wonderful purpose for us and may just run their course. So again, you don't need to go out and make endings and beginnings, but be ready for it to happen. And welcome in that change. This is about welcoming in you, and not the new you. This is the you that has always been there underneath the surface of all these other things that we have piled on top of it. So we welcome ourselves back in, and all the relationships and things that come into our lives that then nourish us. Okay, so tip number 2, what was it again? Oh, it is to look at your triggers. This is huge. Another thing that requires mindfulness, because when we're triggered by someone or something, the tendency is to focus on them and think that that is wrong. They are wrong. They're doing something to trigger me, and so I am reacting against them. I'm repelling them. And yeah, so these are related. Like when the change that you may expect is that you are triggering other people, and they may be repelled. But now, as you are mindful of your triggers, you're seeing the lessons beyond that, and there can be a few. One way that you may be triggered is that you may still not be living your authentic nature, and you may be comparing yourselves to other people. So wishing that you can be in their place, and focusing on their journey instead of yours. Not realizing that you are in control of that. So mindfulness, paying attention to the trigger, doing more journaling around this is really going to help. But that trigger may also be a helpful sign from the universe that they are modeling something you desire, which is living their authentic nature. So it's kind of a snap back to get you back on your path, focusing on yourself, but they have now inspired you. So think of these triggers, whether it be envy or jealousy. Like when I notice that, I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm really admiring how they're showing up, and I'm not doing the work right now to do that. So that is going into the third step here. So I actually have 4. I'm adding this third step in, which is really important, is to keep moving forward. Because when we get stuck is when the self-doubt starts to build, and we start to lean on other people and systems again who we think have all the answers. And that doesn't mean that you don't ask for help, but it's with a different energy. When we are feeling stuck and again getting piled with these self-deprecating thoughts and just feeling more into desperate energy, that going out into the world with that is going to make you form those attachments again. So see if you can just keep moving. Be willing to make mistakes on your journey, because really mistakes are just life lessons. So keep moving forward. This is something I'm doing a lot lately too. Like all this week, I've been focused on this challenge. I brought in a new fully aligned client. Things are moving very, very well because I'm not focused on social media as much. I am creating instead of consuming, because consuming can keep us in this fixed state. So keep moving, keep creating, listen to your intuition about what needs to come forward. And if you get stuck, ask for help, but again, doing it from a mindful place of being clear of what you need and not just searching out with desperate energy around it, because that will get you in that consuming cycle again, which I know all too well. Okay, and then the fourth and final tip here is to consider that there is a spiritual root to your issues. So if you have been with me all week and there has been a lot of resistance around doing these practices, or I know people are thinking this, and some have said it to me, that it's easy for me to say how to get where I am because I'm here now, which of course they're ignoring all the work that got to that place and really just don't want to do it. So that resistance is very telling. Like I mentioned before in a video, it was actually a video I did before this challenge started, is that typically we need to get to a place where things are really, really challenging. And this is why a lot of people come to meditation with just being completely sick of themselves, sick of the excuses, sick of just not wanting to look at themselves. And they know that this is a disconnect that is important to look at, of course. This is all a deep spiritual root. A lot of the issues we are dealing with today, individually and as a collective, are spiritual in nature. And as a holistic health practitioner, I feel like it's been my mission, especially for the last year, to really bring up this spirituality piece, because that is an important aspect of the self. That is the core of the self, remember? That is your authentic nature. It is your spiritual essence. So when people talk about holistic, it's not just natural. It's not just mind and body. See, we hear this all the time. We could pay attention now that some aspects of the self are more comfortable for people to look at than others. I want you to look at your physical, mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual health. All of it. And we need to look at where the gaps are and address it. Thank you, Rachel. I know you're there too. And yeah, I'm curious to talk to you about this. Like, what drove you to working with the angels? Like, for most of us, it's a really long journey. But it was a very powerful journey that got us here. So consider that there may be a spiritual root, and then most of us need help with that. I have a few spiritual teachers. I think I have 4 right now. You may not need 4, but you need at least 1. And that is where I can help you, friends. Those of you here in this group, I'm here every week offering advice, offering practices that can build your spiritual practice. So use it. Use this information. If you are needing more accountability, though, consider my Pathway to Empowerment program. I'm going to put the link for it in the description, and I'll put up more information in the next few days. So this is different from my other holistic healing sessions. So in all of my sessions are integrated now. So I combine all my modalities: meditation, yoga, qigong, TCM, which you've all experienced in this challenge now. But I also bring in the shamanic piece very strongly in the Pathway to Empowerment program. That one is also different because it's 6 sessions, and I like to do them consecutively. So week to week, and with my support in between. So it's not just these weekly 75-minute sessions that we have together, but I'm offering Voxer support in between. So if you have a real life issue and you are needing advice that day, I can provide it to you. And I can give you other practices to do during the week in between our sessions. I can make meditations for you that are special. We can do quicker energy healing sessions that are remote and in between sessions as well. So consider that, because also I have a bonus, which is a free, well, it's included in the program. So it's a bonus worth $177, a human design reading. So human design is also a wonderful way for you to align with your authentic nature. If you haven't had a reading yet, you will love having this introduction to it. And for those of you who already have, because it is becoming very popular now, then you will get an advanced reading from me. So we could talk about what exactly you want to hone in on, and then I can focus on that in this reading that I provide to you. And you will also get a steep discount on my yoga and self-healing practices course if you want to choose to purchase that at the same time. And you can do that course while we're doing the Pathway to Empowerment program, or you can do it afterwards. So many ways that I can help you, and so many at so many levels, whatever you are ready for. So please, friends, ask for help. Just think about how much further you can go with accountability and someone on your side. And really what I am providing with all of my sessions now, this spiritual work that we're doing, is connecting you with your spirit helpers, getting you to the place where you can trust your intuition to access your spiritual nature, but then connect in with your guides that you are aligned with. So that's why the shamanism piece is so important, because we can be working with your power animal spirits, connect in with ascended masters, work with the angels and archangels. That's the work I'm doing with Rachel right now. She's one of my 4 spiritual teachers. And there are other ways that you can access spirit. And this is regardless of your religion. I mean, you definitely need to be very spiritually open to this work, but we can talk about that. So again, I will put a link for that here in the description, but you can also schedule a call with me if you just want to talk about what is appropriate. Okay, friends, so that is all I have for you today. I have to say I'm very, very happy with how this program, and I'm getting a little a little emotional about it, because I really feel like I was led to offer this and was very flexible with it. I gave myself a lot of space. A lot of what I have talked about with you was not planned, and it just came out because I felt like you needed to hear this. So, oh, hi, Janie. Yes, let's talk. Let's talk, friend. Janie, we reconnected. We knew each other in junior high school. So I am a lot different than I was back then. I have some high school friends here in this group too. Completely different person here, in a wonderful way. So let us talk further. I hope you have a great rest of the day, a wonderful weekend. Be well.